So there's this trend that's been going on with movies for quite some time now, and it's a trend that I'm not really very fond of, and I don't think many people are fond of either. So what I'm talking about, of course, is movie trailers that put the whole movie in the trailer. So basically, when you go to see the movie, you feel like you already knew exactly what was going to happen. Yeah, not cool movie trailers. But I believe just recently, this trend has reached critical mass. It has reached terminal velocity of annoyingness with the latest trailer to the new movie Sing. Now, this movie doesn't come out until the 21st, but what I'm going to do right now is go through the trailer and basically explain the entire plot of the movie just through the trailer. And then when the movie comes out, we're going to see just how close I actually got and just how terrible this trend of putting everything in the trailer actually is. Now, I don't think this is going to get anybody to stop doing that, but I just think it would be a fun thing to do. So let's see how close I can actually get.
Everything you're about to see comes from the trailers of Sing.
Okay, so here we go. First, we've got this koala character. He owns a theater and he's not doing too well.
My theater's been going through some pretty rough times. So, what do? A car wash?
But apparently he's got a plan to save it.
A singing competition.
So we've got the impetus for the movie right there. An optimistic koala is looking to save his theater and pony up his last few dimes as a reward for a singing competition, in hopes that it will be a sellout event. The next question is, who is going to participate? Well, first we've got the Pig Housewife. She's clearly overwhelmed and seeking some kind of outlet, and her husband seems, I don't want to say neglectful, but let's say his wife's dreams of being a famous singer aren't on his radar.
Would you please tell them what a good singer I am?
Oh yeah, you were great, honey. By the way, the bathroom sink is blocked again.
The Pig's plot is all about how she is super talented, but the men in her life don't seem to recognize it or push her towards success. Her husband seems super distant, and the other pig that she performs with, who I'm guessing is her cousin or brother or something, seems to be more of a spotlight hog. The pun is intended.
Are you okay? Oh, yes, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Her journey will be to break away from her path as a stay-at-home mom and prove that she can shine as a star. Her inevitably fantastic performance at the show will give her this chance, but she will realize throughout the performances that her kids and family are her true joy, and leave the stardom to the others, but be well pleased with having her knockout performance behind her.
The lady in aisle 6, that was awesome.
Which brings me to our next character, this porcupine girl. She will be a smaller role, but will echo the theme of the movie, which is people who think they can't be something, or who are told they can't be something, proving that they can. With her, she's a prodigy guitar player and singer who finds her boyfriend cheating on her with another porcupine rocker chick. This will fuel her to try out for the show, rocking even harder and ultimately showing her boyfriend up on live television. Next, we've got this crooner Rat Pack type character, right? And he's a mouse, but shouldn't he have been a rat? It seemed like such an easy choice.
I'm here to win. That prize, it's mine.
So this guy is a local and well-known gambling crooner, but unbeknownst to many, he's actually in very deep with the bookies. And though he will impress the judges with his audition as he tries out for the show, and he will be in the final show, during his performance, his number will be interrupted by some very angry bookies. But he was mostly the comic relief anyway. There are two main contestant storylines that we're really meant to care about, and their stories have been spoiled worse than anyone's. But before we get to that, let's get back to Mr. Koala. He holds his auditions for the show, and though there's some great talent there, most of the auditions are, well, good for a laugh, but ultimately terrible. AKA great for a trailer, but won't be seen for long in the film.
My gosh, look at her butt.
After the auditions, the main characters who had shown promise and been selected will have to work hard to improve their singing and performing skills, and it will seem impossible. To the characters, of course, I mean. To the audience, we will all know that these are like amazing singers, and they will, of course, pull it out in the end. This will bring the koala character to a very, very low point, where he feels his theater has no chance, and the one big show that he bet everything on is filled with hopeless amateurs.
This show is not gonna save your theater. Maybe it's time to just move on.
And to boot, his theater is a mess and seems to be falling apart at every turn. Of course, in the end, he'll largely be wrong, but there are still two contestants we have yet to touch on. First, we've got this gorilla kid. He's a lookout for his dad's gang of robbers, but all he's got on his mind is singing. In fact, his absent-mindedness actually botches one of his dad's gang's robberies to the extent that the whole gang but him is sent to jail. Of course, then he receives a flyer for the competition, which will give him the exact amount of money he needs to bail out his father.
I want to be a singer.
How did I end up with a son like you?
Get you out! Dad, wait, I'll get the money, I promise!
Next, of course, he blows away the judges at the audition with his singing. But he sure needs a lot of work on the piano.
Yes, that was very bad.
But before I explain how his story will end, let's meet our last protagonist, the Elephant Girl. She is clearly an amazing singer and, unlike almost all of the others, is actually supported by her family and friends. I mean, they think she's an absolute superstar.
If I had a voice like Mina's, I'd be a superstar by now.
Trouble is, she's got a serious case of stage fright. But that doesn't stop her from showing up to the auditions and trying to win her humble family the prize money. Unfortunately, even at the preliminary auditions, her nerves get the best of her and she totally chokes. But the koala owner guy will hear her singing off to the side or in an alley or something and include her in the final show. In fact, he'll probably talk her into being in the show. So the night of the show comes and surprise, surprise, the show is sold out and has a line down the street. As the performances begin, most of the characters we'd met before in the film perform, and very well. The gorilla kid will probably perform towards the end, and we see his dad watching the performance from prison with the other inmates. His father will gain the understanding of his son's talents through seeing him perform on television. Meanwhile, the Elephant Girl gets ready for one of the final acts of the night, and as usual, she is petrified by fear. But with the encouragement of all the performers before her, she summons up the strength and delivers a stellar performance with vocals so powerful that they shake the very theater itself, calling back to its earlier structural integrity issues, but this time revealing that the theater is overlooking a vast and beautiful landscape.
Sorry,
The crowd erupts, and upon completion of her song, all of the performers come back on stage to perform one final number as a group. Now, this final number is not shown anywhere in the trailers, and that's because the people who made the trailer think they will shock the viewers with it at the end of the movie, like, oh my god, they're all performing together. But here's the thing. In reality, it's so obvious that there will be a final group number that even the gorilla's dad breaks out of prison so that he can watch it and stand in the back of the crowd while he makes eye contact with his son, delivering a very validating moment. After all was said and done, the Elephant Girl won the prize, or the prize was split between all of the contestants, but I kind of want the Elephant Girl to have won the prize. But the show sold so many tickets and made such a splash that the theater was able to not only save itself, but finance a new and ongoing show, which will include all of the performers in one big, fantastic musical. TLDR, believe in yourself and you can do anything.
Real talent from real life. That's what audiences want, and I'm gonna give it to them.
Oh, and one last thing. That spoon that just flew up, yeah, right here, that will go either into this bowl soup in the background or hit him in the head. That's it. It's out there into the universe. Now we just have to wait and see how close I actually am with my predictions. Now, I know a lot of you guys have said I've been really hard on Sing, considering it's a movie I haven't even seen, but I don't have high hopes for it. But here is what I do hope. I hope that it surprises me. I hope there's tons of stuff in the movie that's not in the trailers. And I hope that I really love it. So, let's see.